of Casa Harvey, as I call it for the owner, in beautiful Jocotepec. And the other day, we wanted to taste birria, which is a stew, and in these parts it's made of goat. And we were very fortunate because the woman who was manning the kitchen at Arturo's led me into where her pots were bubbling with consommé, where the bones and the head and connective tissue and things like that of the goat had simmered to create a broth, which she later added to a large stock pot, and it was red, so I assumed that she had roasted chilies and onions and garlic, blended them, sauteed them in oil, and then added them to the broth with maybe some epazote and cilantro and bay leaf and other delicious things. The reason I'm saying that is because we've already had first go round, so now we're having seconds. So we're in this kitchen. I just want to just have a tour real quick. It's a kitchen that's one room deep. Here is the kitchen dining room, which we've never used. We always go outside to eat. The implements are of rustic, native Mexican quality. And I should have been using these lovely bowls, but I wanted to use a big soup dish, which is one of those hybrid, is it a bowl, is it a dish? Because we eat outside and I don't want to destroy the thing. So there's no microwave in this house, so I heated up the broth. Want to come closer, Charlie? And then with the broth, I've added a little. When you don't have your own kitchen, you have to improvise. So I don't have a ladle holder there. So I used the broth to heat up the meat right here. Here's what's left of it, and it's scorched a little. That was because I wasn't minding it. The tortillas were made by hand, and I reheated it. I tried to use the comal, and you have to ignite it, and it would just practically blew up from my face. I've worked in 5 rental Mexican kitchens, and their gas is tremendous. It's like hellfires. The hot water heater that gives us the shower water is, you could, poach an egg? Right? It's very, very strong. So this is the way you do it. Now this one is a little bit too crispy because I was busy grooming. Because I said, hey honey, let's do a recreation. So this is what I did. I took, safety first. I took a tortilla which has been heated up on this frying pan, and they have a comal. I could have used that, but like I said, there's a temperature-wise, I just didn't trust it. So I'm lining the center with meat, okay? And then I'm going to get the other tortilla, and I don't have asbestos hands like they do, and this one's even kind of crisp. It's a matter of making it so that you can have them support each other, so which is what I'm going to do right now. And put some here. Oh, that was a little bit more generous. And then this is the interesting part. You take the broth and you pour. It's not a taco. It's not an enchilada. It's a birria. And I was looking at places and things to do on a Sunday, and I came across this Guadalajara website, and that's the major city nearby, which is also the second largest city in Mexico. And it translated it for me, and they said, why don't you take the 40-minute drive to Jocotepec and have their birria? They're famous for it. And they never used the word birria. They used the American translation, which was trash. Have a dish of trash. So here's our dish of trash, and I'm going to follow me, please, to our patio where we take all our meals. Follow me this way. They provided us with onions and with chopped onions and two whole limes, which I cut up, and a little baggie of salsa. But I've already had plenty of table salsa from other restaurant excursions. Come up to the upper level patio. Look at this. So, in the 70s, we used to use these for our tables and sit on the floor. Well, that was in Hawaii. Everybody sat on the floor. So, I'm going to assemble one for my husband. So, what you do is take a spoon. I should have brought another soup spoon. And put the chopped onions in each. so it has a nice bite. Squeeze of lime. And our friend Mark O'Neill came with us. We took him to lunch, and he brought us these little avocados. And they're nearly ripe. They're going to keep that size. And I've washed them with soap and water because that's just the way it is here in Mexico. Either you soak them iodine or you wash it with soap and water. And you can eat it out of pan like a fruit, like a plum. The skin is very soft. So how you eat this is, let me turn this around. This is how I was eating it. You take knife and fork to it to get it started. And I actually had a tablecloth around my chin because I was afraid it would splurt up, and red chili sauce does not go with my outfit. And then you take a spoon, maybe this is Filipino style, and then you take the two together and you eat it. So here we go. It's delicious. We don't expect something soupy like this to be in a semi-crisp taco. The birria is very rich. It's not dry and stringy. It's slightly gamey, but I would say pungent. Gamey always has a bad. I'm not talking with my mouth open, sorry. The meat is very tender. It's not dried out. The sauce is perfectly balanced. It needs nothing. You could put a little hot sauce if you wanted, just to vary the taste. But at Arturo's Birria in Jocotepec, thank you very much for this delicious meal. And now we're going to continue. Charlie, why don't you show the view of what we have here at Casa Jardín. You can see the Lake Chapala. You can see Lake Chapala in the distance. This is the largest freshwater lake in all of Mexico, although it's very shallow. I don't know how many meters deep it is. I'm sure you could drown in it. That is the town. Sometimes this morning it was Sunday, so we heard beautiful church bells calling the Catholic faithful to Mass. In the foreground here are beautiful plants and flowers that you would probably know, but in the distance there's a flame tree, there's that right there is an avocado tree, plumeria tree, guava tree, there's various birds of paradise. One is like the size of a tree, it's in a miracle thing, and there's hibiscus, bougainvillea, and also he has right over this ledge, strangely enough, where there is no barrier, cactus-like plants with thorns, so watch your step. The walkway is lined with pots, and those are succulents, which is a good idea. So the gardener came, and I didn't see him hand water them, but you know, it's 83 degrees today. Perfect, and we are third week of July. So there's a fountain. I've never heard it except for the first day. But how would you like to visit Mexico and rent a hacienda like this, walking distance into town, have very nice neighbors that wave at you. The kids waved at us yesterday. We bought them some cupcakes and I gave it to them while they were eating dinner. So we're really enjoying life here. So now we're going to get back to our birria, our trash dish. Okay, bye-bye from Jocotepec.